This video is brought to you by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Hello, baseball fans. You're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
Tanner Scott. Why have we not signed Tanner Scott? Will the Braves sign Tanner Scott? Will this happen? We've talked about Tanner Scott before. I cut a video about a month or two ago. Now, should the Braves be in the conversation for Tanner Scott? I think the simplest answer is absolutely yes. Tanner Scott has been great over the past couple of years. He's an elite lefty. You could potentially be losing A.J. Minter in the pen. You have questions surrounding your starting rotation. This could give you more security in the late innings. We saw the Braves give up some games this past year, not necessarily in the ninth because we had Raisel Iglesias, but in the 7th and 8th, a guy like Tanner Scott puts up just one more wall there in the late innings. I think that is pretty interesting. I think Tanner Scott, just on a I want that guy basis, just from seeing him play, we saw him in Miami. We've seen what he did with the Padres. I think a guy like Tanner Scott could really improve the Braves' bullpen and give Alex Anthopoulos the ability to build around not just one with Raisel Iglesias, but two elite relievers. Because right now, all due respect to everybody in our bullpen, we don't have that. We have a solid bullpen, but we don't have guys that are shut down, and that's it. Tanner Scott would be one of those guys. And I think that if you're going to compete in the playoffs, the bullpen's got to be a concern, right? We saw how meaningful the bullpen could be back in 21, right? The night shift. You had Matzik, who was untouchable. Will Smith, who didn't allow a run in the entirety of the playoffs. Richard Rodriguez that year was pretty good. You had a really solid pen, and that was just as beneficial as the offense was, right? Because our offense at that time was solid, but it wasn't what it was even in 2023. But one thing we had was bullpen. Luke Jackson had the best year of his career that season. I'm just thinking on top of my head guys that performed. And sure, we may have that in the pen right now. You may have a guy like, I think Grant Holmes is an excellent reliever. I think he could be a starter. I think he could really go either way. I think he fits whatever the team may need. I think that's Grant Holmes's current role right now. So in terms of Tanner Scott, the Braves should absolutely be in the conversation. I believe they are in the conversations. Now, some figures are throwing out $60 million. Some are throwing out $40 million. I don't know what the Braves are going to be willing to spend. I think, again, figuring out the starter, maybe not even spending money on the starter, but figuring out your starting situation, that is the priority. Whether it's we're going to compete from within, if that's what we're going with, then that's what we're going with. But if it's not that, I think Scott has got to be a priority here. He is by far the best reliever right now on the market. It's not really a question, especially for the value you're going to get. Hoffman was kind of the one other guy that people were really looking at. Scott's the guy. Now, the problem with that is Scott is the guy that's also going to get attention from the Dodgers, on the West Coast, by the way, with Padres, from the Yankees, who signed Max Fried to an exorbitant amount of money. So if you're getting into a bidding war with those guys, you got to come prepared. I don't know that the Braves are going to be willing to do that, especially if they only have this much amount before they go over the luxury tax. Again, they may hold. They may say, you know what, we're going to trust our guys. We're even going to explore options within our own system for the bullpen as well, because that's what we've been able to do, and we'll plug and play here and there. There's other arms out there for sure, but Tanner Scott is without a doubt getting the most attention right now, rightfully so, I would say. This video has been brought to you by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Baseball fans, make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to this channel. As always, thank you for your support.